Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today I've got my friend Abe was undefeated with this skill-less Goku at our locals last night, and including beating me, my only loss. So I really wanted the deck. It was super cool, and I really liked it. And yeah, I wanted to share it with you guys. And honestly, I feel like skillless Goku's kind of fallen by the wayside these past couple of weeks, just because I mean, like it's an older archetype and all that. But it's like it's still really solid. The idea of just being able to be really flexible and use these like I still think like skillless is one of the best value based games because like you were able to this one drop Goku just so much for you and your deck, being able to get like being able to pay 2 energy to just for free play a 30k card, like that's crazy. And just all the other stuff that this deck really has. The leader's always swinging for 15k, as long as you have a 4-star ball. So I think there's like still a lot of stuff going for it. There's just not like I don't think people are playing it as much, as maybe because they're sick and tired of playing this archetype. But it's a really strong archetype, and really let's just go on into it. So yeah, so this is a red black version of it, and I think the red cards that are important for this deck. So all the skillless cards for this are red. So we're running 5 of the 20ks. And then 4 of the 30ks, so 4 of the Grandpa Gohans, and then they're like I think there are 5 specific 20k true drop red cards. So just pick your favorites of those. I just for this put 2 of the Brainwashed and 3 of the Botamo and Megetta, just because they're like the most like the most recent ones of them. But yeah, I think both of these cards are both you just need a 20k vanilla, right? And then on top of that, we have Training Buddy Krillin. So this is good. So auto, when you play this card, if your leader card is black, choose up to 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 or less from your drop player play it. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards that gets minus 5k power for duration of the turn. So it's a great. This card gets like it can go like +2 all by itself because you're able to play it. Play a 20k monster and then also minus 5k, which can kill one of your opponent's cards. So that's really good. It's kind of like in a similar vein. We're also running 2-dimensional support Trunks. So when you play this card using Overwhelm, choose up to 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 or less from your deck. Play it, then it gain shuffle your deck. Then it gains critical for duration of the turn. So both these cards are good for all the 20ks we have. And then also, so I don't know if it's maybe I should have started with this, but we also are running Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku, A Heartful Plea. Already it has triple strike and offering, but so the auto that's really important is choose 1 of your red battle cards with 25k power or more and place it in its owner's drop area. When your leader when your leader card activates Awaken, if this card isn't in play in your battle area, then you may play this from your hand. So 2 good things about this this archetype and stuff. One, Son Goku can awaken super easily without really early too, without having to take a lot of cards from your life, because it can awaken at 6 or less if you have a skillless card in your drop area. So that's really easy. And then to have the second condition for this card of having a red card with 25k power or more. So immediately you're thinking Grandpa Gohan, but for really any of these cards, they just need to have 25k power or more, and that's when 4-star ball really kind of shines. So it says active battle, choose up to 1 of your battle cards or leader cards that gets plus 5k power for duration of the battle, and if it's a skillless battle card, it gets an additional 5k power for duration of the battle. So this means that during the battle phase, it becomes a 25k. So something you can do. So if you swing like with this 20k and your opponent does something to it, like let's say they use like a blocker, right, to kind of mitigate the attack. What you can do is you can use 1 4-star ball to make it a 30k red card, and then during your battle phase you can awaken your leader, and then you can play Goku for free, and then you can when you do that you can pitch the Botamo and Megetta to activate its effects. So that's what we can do, since even though 4-star ball it's temporary, it's during the battle step, which means that you can still awaken during the battle step, and you can give stuff the plus 5k power to get them to where they need. So kind of like similar with like Topo. Let's say like your last turn you use Topo to negate their attack, then you swing with it. And the other thing is too, like you don't have to like use this on the battle card that's attacking. It says choose up to 1 of your battle cards or leader cards. So let's say you swing with like your Topo. It's it's in rest mode. You swing with your Son Goku leader. You use 4-star ball, give it to the Topo, and then you awaken. Then you can play the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, getting rid of your Topo because it's a 25k. So like, there's a lot of synergy there. The fact that this card gives a plus 5k to anything, plus 10k to any skillless cards, but that doesn't. I mean, that's great, but doesn't really matter to the Super Saiyan 4 getting out. Means that you just have a lot of flexibility. It's really easy to drop this bomb, and really go off on your opponent. So really good card. This card is fantastic. Offering is it has offering too, so that's a really cool effect. And if you want to play like a really like, I think the most of the power of this deck is that you're able to be really flexible. If you need to be really defensive, you can do that, or if you need to be really aggressive and value based, like mid range, you can really do that too. So being able to use this card to be aggressive against an opponent that needs to be aggressive against, or being able to just produce a bunch of these really high value attack monsters, and so you can attack over your opponent's stuff, and so they really they have to lose a value trade. And I mean, this is what Skill-less Goku is really best at, right? Being able to get like a lot of value. I'd still say like they're one of the best value based decks in like the long term, because they gain so much value every turn from all of this. So really cool there. And I think this is a really kind of unique interaction, because otherwise a lot of the people who play the Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku, the idea is to awaken really early, which means you're at like 4 or 2 life, and so if you don't win that turn, you lose, right? But with this, you're able to just drop a 30k triple strike dude on like turn 2 or 3, and then your opponent has to really just like be okay that it exists, right? Because they can't really do anything against it. So I think that's a really cool thing, and being able to put like that much pressure on your opponent can be fantastic. So great card there. I kind of brushed over it, but Topo is a great card too. So it's counterattack, choose one other card in your hand, place in your drop, then negate the attack and play this card. This is great for being a really defensive tool. Son Goku is fantastic for generating advantage with 4-star ball in general, but also if you have this 1-drop Goku out, you can just keep getting +1s every turn. So the dropping one is non-existent there. So great card in making sure that you can get to your later turns. Champa, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. If you have like this big old 30k attacking, and so if we have a double strike to it, then your opponent can't do anything. This also pairs really nice with our intensifying power trunks, which is pretty much one of our only awakening conditions in this deck, other than like power burst or something. But we really want to see this if we're playing against a really defensive opponent, so we can give it and if we have Champa as well, we get double strike crit, and that's super powerful. And I think, I mean, it's a 25k double strike crit, and being able to do that is fantastic. Super combo is Master Roshi. We're doing which is 4 life or less, which can get us in trouble sometimes, but we're using some overwhelm, so we don't want it to be sparking. We also have Bonds of Friendship Android 8, so this is great for getting more card advantage. Really making sure we have if we need like hard cast one of our 20Ks, we can do that. And also making sure we protect our 1-drop. There are like so this says when your Son Goku childhood card is KO'd by an opponent's skill or leaves a battle area, choose this up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So I think like this set right now, there's a lot of ways to like bounce or like get rid of 1-drops. I think like immediately like the Android 21 leader. So being able to have this card out and make it so that they don't want it, like it's a cost to remove this because you have Android 8 out. I think that's really good, because there's a lot of ways right now that people can disrupt this card, and so having a little bit of protection, I think, goes a long way. And this can go +1 for you, and if you need to get skillless cards so you can put in your drop so you can awaken, this can be a good card for that too. I think that's the main card. So we're running 5 4-star balls, and I think with 4 of the 1-drops, I think that's enough for consistency there. What else are we running? I think after that, there's just a bunch of 1-ofs that we are testing. So Remote Serious Bomb, fantastic card, and kind of fix the art type. So being able to just remove something big is good. We also have Super Kamehameha, one of those. So if your leader card is black and your life is at 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it is sent to the owner's warp instead of being played. And then it's also the permanent. You can play this if you only have black cards in your energy. and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding cards from your life to your hand instead of paying as energy cost, which isn't super rare for us to have only black energy. If we want to play Intensifying Power Trunks, we have to have red energy or topo, but otherwise I think it's not. I mean, like we're pretty energy fluent too, so I don't think being able to pay one for that is a big cost. We also are running a Bardock, so this is good for just trying to find the cards unique, since we play this Overwhelm, we draw 2 and then choose 1 card from your hand and place in our drop. So this is good for also getting rid of, like, if we can only play 1 of these per game. We can only do that if we do it during the Awakening, because we don't have any yellow. So if we have any extra 5 drops, that's a good way for that. Also, Topo is good for that, for dropping those. And then also 1 Mirror, Assault from the Skies. Just this is big when when you play this card, draw 1 card, then at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose 1 card in your energy, switch to active mode. This is just like a big 30k double strike. That's for 1 energy, and I think that's super worth it, especially since we have so many other like big 30k pressures that it's going to be hard for your opponent to get around this. Some additional cards that I thought of, kind of like some potential options, and they're pretty bleak compared to like other videos, but we have Chain Attack Trunks just because we're playing 1-drop Trunks, so being able to play this too could, it's not bad. We don't have a lot of targets, but we can get like Training Buddy Krillin or something like that, but if we need to like go into Zeno or something, that's a possibility. Food Dark Banisher, I think this is a fantastic card, and if we end up playing against Hachiyak or something, we definitely want this card in our deck, so I think this should at least be in the side. If not, find some room in the main board for it, but this is just a fantastic game ender, especially since we gain so much value from our leader and all the cards around it, that making it harder and harder for our opponent to do something, I think is worth it. And also, I think we run enough cards that are black for Demigra. If we put this card in, I think we have to get rid of like all the other Overwhelm stuff just to make sure we have enough cards in there. But this card's fantastic. It's another game ender, and this card's fantastic, so we don't have to talk about it. So that's pretty much the deck. I hope this gets people's gears grinding about what to do, and when they're deck building. I think Skill-less isn't dead in any regard. Honestly, in my opinion, I think people are just kind of bored of it because it's it's so prevalent for so long, but it's still like super powerful, and it's just, I think the biggest strength this deck has is it's flexible and it's great at getting card advantage. So I think this deck can still thrive, and there are probably like 100 variants of this leader, and I think it's awesome. I think from card design, that's really cool. But this is the deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. What changes do you guys would add? And that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.